It was supposed to be a quiet spring evening in London, but inside the walls of Victoria Beckham's private dressing suite, the designer's fingers flew across her custom-embellished notebook. Her pen etched out not just ideas for her upcoming fashion line, but something deeper, more pointed. Something veiled in elegance, like the satin slip dresses she was known for. A coded message, tailored as carefully as her signature blazer silhouettes. Brooklyn, her eldest son, had changed. Ever since his wedding to Nicola Peltz, a whirlwind affair of billionaire excess and celebrity guest lists, there had been a distance. A subtle recalibration of family gravity. Once, Brooklyn orbited his mother like the moon to the earth. Now, he was an eclipse. Nicola was the sun. Victoria wasn't the type to create a tabloid splash. Her language was that of high fashion and soft power, couture and curated captions. So when she launched her latest collection, quietly titled Reverence, eagle-eyed fans and insiders alike sensed a storm beneath the silk. The promotional video was haunting. A model walked through an English rose garden in a minimalist ivory gown, holding a single magnolia blossom. Victoria's voice whispered over the visuals, "Even petals can bruise, even sunlit paths can cast long shadows." Nicola Peltz, nestled in the lap of luxury in Los Angeles, watched the clip with her personal assistant. Her phone buzzed incessantly with DMs. "Is this about you? V's latest drop has your name written all over it." At first, she laughed it off. But later, alone by the pool, Nicola played the video again. And again. The magnolia, a nod to the Florida estate where she and Brooklyn were married. The model's hairstyle, a copy of Nicola's Met Gala updo. And that whisper, petals, bruises, shadows. Nicola's fingers curled around her glass. She wasn't imagining it. Victoria was speaking. Across the Atlantic, David Beckham sat silently in the family lounge of their countryside estate. He watched as Victoria closed her notebook and set it down with a definitive sigh. "You've said something, haven't you?" he asked, already knowing the answer. "Just a whisper," Victoria replied. "But one she'll hear." David didn't argue. He knew his wife, her brilliance, her temper, and her surgical precision when wounded. The feud with Nicola was never shouted, it was waged in subtleties. In who got tagged on Instagram, in which table was empty at Harper's birthday tea, in the silence of birthday cards not sent. Victoria had tried to embrace Nicola, but the actress's glacial demeanor and insistence on doing things the Peltz way, always grander, always more American, had grated. Brooklyn had picked a side, and it wasn't the one with Spice Girls memorabilia in the attic. But the message wasn't just fashion. It was layered. Over the next week, Victoria posted a carousel of photos from her archives. A younger Brooklyn on her hip, kissing her cheek. A handwritten note he'd scrawled at 7, "You are the best mummy." Her captions were poetry. "Some roots are deeper than others. Distance never dims love, only dims the view." Nicola posted a response of sorts, a behind-the-scenes look at a new photo shoot. Brooklyn draped over her shoulders, his lips pressed to her temple. The caption read, "My heart in human form." The fans took sides. Tension built toward the Met Gala, where both women were set to appear. The world watched. What would Victoria wear? Would Nicola ignore her entirely? Would Brooklyn walk the carpet alone? Victoria arrived first. Regal in black silk, a dramatic veil falling from her crown like a widow mourning something intangible. She posed alone, then with David, but her eyes, always expressive when she allowed them, searched the crowd. Nicola arrived next, in frosted pink and diamonds that twinkled like frostbite. She and Brooklyn looked like a Baz Luhrmann dream. But there was no greeting. Not even a glance across the velvet ropes. Until the dinner. Seated only a table apart, fate, or a mischievous seating coordinator, placed them in adjacent orbit. Victoria raised her champagne glass. Nicola did the same. Their eyes locked. Victoria's toast was brief, to timeless bonds and lessons in grace. Nicola's smile was sharp. "And to blooming where you're planted." The coded exchange left their guests frozen for a beat. Brooklyn, caught between worlds, kept his gaze on his plate. The next day, the headlines blared, "Beckham Peltz Cold War thaws at Met Gala?" Victoria's cryptic fashion show response to Nicola drama. But the truth lay in a photo that never made it to Instagram. A candid shot, leaked by a waiter, showed Victoria and Nicola in the powder room during the gala. Alone. Facing each other. No smiles. No tears. Just an exchange. What was said remains unknown. But days later, Nicola followed Victoria on Instagram again. Victoria liked a photo of Brooklyn holding Nicola's hand. And in Victoria's next fashion line, a model walked barefoot in a dress of pale rose silk. Her hair was pinned in a loose braid, just like Nicola had worn during her engagement. The collection's name? Mended. And so, the whisper turned to a murmur. Not peace, not yet. But an offering. Because sometimes, in the world of high fashion and higher stakes, the loudest messages are those stitched between the seams.